Good afternoon, First Baptist Church. Welcome to the Monday blog. We've been going through the book of James. We're finally to James 5 after 26 sessions. So let me share my screen as we start to talk about it. And if we're going to talk about James 5, we have to first talk about the end of chapter 4. It says here in 17, so whoever knows the right thing to do and fails to do it, for him it is sin. What does that mean? I mean, if it's not just the law and the commandments that we're given, it can be anything. It can be whether or not God is asking us to do something and we ignore him. I know one time there was a guy sitting outside of the Holiday Inn, and he had just some overalls on, and underneath that he had no shirt, and it was probably a 30-degree day. And I was coming out of the intermediate school after dropping my kids off at school, and I saw this guy, and I felt like I was supposed to go help him. But I ignored it, and I left, and I didn't help him, and it bothered me all day and all night. And just so happened the next day I had an opportunity to help this guy as he came by our office, but that guy spent the night in cold because I didn't help him, and I believe that was a sin. That holds true in a lot of things, but one way that we can get caught up in as Christians is in our money. So as we get down here, we need to look at that. It says, "Come now, you rich." Now, I know I said Christians, and normally we're talking about believers, or it's saying brothers in James, but this time I think it's talking about people that are so caught up in the ways of this world, the money in this world, that they aren't following Jesus Christ. And he warns them. He says, you will weep and you will howl for the miseries that are coming upon you. Man, when we're caught up in the riches of the world, we have these miseries that we can never describe this side of when those happen. It says this, your riches down here on earth have rotted and our garments are moth-eaten, right? The things that we think are going to help us on this earth are actually rotted, and they're like garments that are moth-eaten. Is that where your faith is? Is your faith in your gold and silver down here? Because guess what? It's corroded, and their corrosion will be evidence against you. Are you okay with that? And will eat your flesh like fire, not only on this particular earth where we get caught up in the ways of the world and we get caught up in our own self and our own pride and don't follow who Jesus Christ is, but it will literally lead us towards demise as we burn in hell. I mean, that's tough. So think about that as you go forward. Have you laid up treasures in the last days for heaven, or have you laid them up for the things of the world? I don't know about you, but I really have this desire to lay up things that will last forever, things that will carry on through eternity, and being rich in this world is not one of them. In fact, when we're rich in this world, we get caught up in the things of this world, and it leads us to leaning into some of the things, the riches of this world, and not the riches of who Christ is. And I tell you, even in the people in the church, we're in the top percentile, probably this top at least 70 percentile of the world in world earnings. So we are rich compared. And so don't let the riches of this world do something in your heart that takes you away from who Jesus is. So thank you for tuning in. I'll see you next week. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.